Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here on your Friday. Today is October 11th. It's 7 o'clock here on The Wax. I'm Caitlin Francis.
And I'm Caitlin Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News here on The Wax. We do appreciate that. And let's say hello to meteorologist Scot Gagliardi. Get the details on today's forecast and the weekend ahead. Hey, good morning, Scott.
Good morning. Did either of you see the lights last night?
I did.
Kate did. I was asleep.
Oh, you were asleep. It came in pretty early, like 7:15.
Yeah.
As soon as that
Isn't
sunset.
that sad that I'm already asleep?
No, that's I should also
typical.
be asleep
Yeah,
at that
The
time.
kids go to bed, and I'm like, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Well, you'll get a chance tonight.
Oh,
so
okay,
It's the
it's back?
weekend. You have no excuse tonight.
Yeah.
It won't be as vibrant, but still, if you've never seen it before,
I was
checking out, right?
completely mind blown. It was
Jaw-dropping.
completely awe-inspiring.
because you could
It was
just
beautiful.
look straight up. You didn't have to look far off in the distance. I mean,
No.
it was right above your head.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
crazy.
That's wild for Connecticut.
And really, you could see it without a camera. You
Yes.
could, I mean, it wasn't super strong, but you could
Right.
still see it. It was very cool.
You still noticed it, yeah. And that's the thing. Today we'll get to see it, or tonight anyway, see it again. Here's a live look in Hartford. Our sun is coming up right now on this chilly Friday morning, right now in Hartford. 41 degrees down along the shoreline. It's cooler as well. Here's Old Saybrook. Looks beautiful out there, but it is on the cooler side. Here's a look at those temperatures. Plenty of 30s. The coolest spot on the map right now, Willimantic, 33 degrees, near freezing. 34 in Putnam, 40s, low 40s, but everybody needs the jacket to work or school this morning. Even that 48 in New Haven. It's chilly out there. Not getting too many reports of frost. That breeze is just enough elevated to limit frost formation, but it's still cold out there. Across the southern New England area, not noticing too much, but as far as your bus stop forecast, it's chilly out there now. We warm up to those mid and upper 60s by the time we get to the ride home, but it's a cooler day. There's a brief warm up tomorrow and then showers on the way. The very latest on when you can expect them, all coming up in just a few minutes. Morning, Kate.
Hey, good morning, Scott. Good morning, everyone. Let's get you a check on those roads. If you're heading out the door here this morning, heading to work, bringing the kids to school, maybe you have an extended holiday weekend. A lot of folks are going to be heading into a long weekend on tap. Majority of the state, though, moving along, no issues out there. We are seeing normal delays down through Fairfield County, 95 southbound, and the Parkway. Other than that, though, it's very quiet out there so far this morning. Live look outside in Hartford, 91 north and southbound there. Live look in Waterbury, 84 east and westbound, in and out of the Mixmaster. Live look in Middletown along Route 9. Things are still quiet. And in Meriden, 691 east and westbound. Chilly start, and that daytime construction work picks up between about 8:30 and 9 o'clock if you're planning to leave a little bit later. That's a quick check at your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Happening today, the Bristol Police Department will honor Lieutenant Dustin DeMonte and Sergeant Alex Hamzy with a permanent display of police cruiser doors right outside their headquarters.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Marcy Jones has the details on today's unveiling.
Good morning. Well, the department says that they are committed to preserving the legacy and the memory of these two fallen heroes, and that's exactly why it's important for them to do the dedication like the one today. Now, today's event is open to the public, and if you can't attend in person, they also will be live streaming on Facebook. The doors are from the police cruiser that was parked in front of the department following that October night 2 years ago that became a makeshift memorial for the fallen Lieutenant Dustin DeMonte and Sergeant Alex Hamzy. The department says the idea behind the doors is to honor and remember the sacrifice made that tragic night and to serve as a reminder of the outpouring of love and support from the community during that incredibly difficult time. Now, the event today starts at 11. It is again open to the public. The police union will also hold a private wreath laying ceremony, and that is for loved ones only. In Bristol, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Horrible. I never think about this. This is a bad dream. Very bad dream.
Well, turning now to Florida, that's where cleanup is underway right now after Hurricane Milton left destruction across our state.
So the storm killed at least 16 people and spawned at least 20 tornadoes. Channel 3's Erica Brown has more from St. Petersburg, where people are just starting to pick up the pieces this morning.
Residents in Florida returned to get their first look at the destruction caused by Hurricane Milton.
This is home and it's gone. Home is gone. So home ain't home no more. So yeah, I'm very emotional.
The storm, which also spawned a series of tornadoes, scattered boats, ripped apart homes and businesses, and left entire communities underwater. The governor says more than 300 people were rescued, including this 14-year-old boy, after he was spotted floating on debris. Here at Tropicana Field, home of the Tampa Bay Rays, the stadium's roof was meant to withstand up to 115-mile-per-hour winds, and yet still, Milton's winds were able to shred it. Yamile Barrio gave us a peek inside of her Tampa apartment from the window. Her furniture now partially underwater, but she says she's lucky to be alive.
Thank God nothing happened to us. There's more people that's worse than us.
Yamile and her neighbors say the flooding in her neighborhood began after Milton had already passed through. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, St. Petersburg, Florida.
And there are many ways that you can help the victims of Hurricane Milton and also Hurricane Helene. Just scan the QR code right there on your screen to donate to the Red Cross. All of the money will go directly to communities that need food and other necessities.
Well, it's 7:06. The candidates for Congress in Connecticut's 2nd District squared off last night.
Yeah, Channel 3 partnered with the Day of New London newspaper and the League of Women Voters to put on this debate between Democrat Joe Courtney and Republican challenger Mike France.
Channel 3 New London Bureau Chief Luke Hydash has the recap.
Caitlin, good morning. The debate covered quite a bit: housing, immigration, women's rights, the economy, just to name a few key issues for the candidates, of course, as well as the many voters here in Eastern Connecticut. This is a rematch between Joe Courtney and Mike France. France ran against Courtney back in 2022. He lost that election by about 50,000 votes. Joe Courtney has held office since 2006. Courtney argued his track record, that is, when it comes to job creation in a district full of big companies down here like Electric Boat. Mike France made the case of inflation, how much things are costing nowadays, how many Americans are struggling, putting the blame on Democrats like Joe Courtney.
We saw inflation rise to almost 9%, something we haven't seen in decades. We see interest rates on mortgages at over 7%, something we haven't seen in over 30 years. These are the impacts of failed economic policy.
In my opinion, the biggest cost issue for folks is housing. And the way you solve a shortage of housing is build more housing. And in Washington, I have been working with the home builders of Connecticut and advocates for more construction with tax credits for mixed income housing.
Election day is fast approaching. November 5th is just 25 days away. In New London, Luke Hydash, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Luke. Now to an update to a story we've been following for you. A middle school teacher due in court today after allegedly having a sexual relationship with a student. Renee De Leon was arrested back in April after a report came out she had a relationship with the student while teaching at James Moran Middle School back in 2008. She's facing charges of assault and risk of injury to a minor.
Well, this morning, 91 North in Enfield is back open after being partially shut down for many hours. We're told traffic was impacted for as many as 9 hours, all after police say a truck with a crane on it actually hit the exit 47 overpass bridge and knocked down a metal highway sign. We're told some people were hurt. It's not clear how many, but they are expected to be okay.
This morning, 2 men are facing charges after police say they were running a prostitution ring.
Yeah, it happened at the Aqua Spa, which is located inside of a shopping plaza on Farmington Avenue. It's called Aqua After Dark online. Police say they began the investigation into the suspected trafficking months ago.
Yeah, and this is all taking place in Bristol. Police arrested 64-year-old Vincent Whiteley and 63-year-old David Henderson. Police are asking if you have any information related to their investigation to call their tips line. Well, right now we've got new details about a deadly wrong-way crash on I-95 that we first told you about yesterday morning. Police say 47-year-old Mark Palumbo of Madison was driving southbound in Westbrook when a wrong-way driver identified as Troy Bree of Groton crashed right into him. Palumbo was killed. Crews were able to bring Bree to the hospital where he's said to be recovering. This is the 5th wrong-way crash on Connecticut roadways just this year.
Well, this morning, police are once again warning students to be vigilant on the Yale campus as they investigate a home invasion there.
We're told 2 students found a man in their apartment early this week on Lake Place. Pinpoint News Tracker showing us that exact location right now.
The students told the intruder to leave. After a struggle, the man pepper sprayed them before running off. The students are expected to be okay.
Save the Sound's annual report card says Long Island Sound is actually much healthier than it was decades ago, with 98% of the sound scoring a B or better. Water samples show the healthiest spots are where you would boat, swim, or fish. So that's some good news there. They do say nitrogen pollution is mostly to blame for areas like bays where some action is still needed, and that wastewater infrastructure improvements could help. So if you would like to do your part, it's recommended you watch your water or fertilizer use and keep up with your pipes and septic.
And the time 7:10 on your Friday morning. We have chilly temperatures out there to greet you as you head off to work or school. But other than that, it looks good out there. Here's a live look in New Haven. Notice the sunrise there came in about 10 minutes ago. Temperature 48 degrees. With a light breeze out of the west-northwest at 6. They're the most mild spot, though, in the state. Check out the widespread 30s, 35 from Torrington down through Waterbury and over through Meriden, 34 in Putnam, and 36 in Danbury. Notice there feels like temperature actually a bit cooler than that, feeling like freezing in Putnam and Danbury right now with that breeze. Even 4 or 5 miles per hour is enough to lower those temperatures. So temperatures where we're headed for today. Check out the mid to upper 60s, better than yesterday, but tomorrow will actually be the biggest warm up. We have showers though coming. I'll get you the latest on that, all coming up with your full First Alert forecast.